Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Couples Connect. We got some very special people online with us today. One of my really, really good friends. We were just talking that we've known each other for probably over 8 years.
Yeah.
This guy, and he's a really cool dude. We were involved in the music together, and just recently found out that he got engaged to his beautiful fiance.
Congratulations.
Congratulations! So
Thank you.
let me formally introduce them. Is Erzcel and Shari. Yeah,
Did
so
we do
let's
it
give
right?
it up. Did it right? Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
We was murdering the name.
There's a pause after.
So Erzcel and Shari, welcome guys to Couples Connect. How you guys doing?
Great. Doing good. Thank you for having us. And we're really excited and just looking forward to, what's gonna happen right now.
Yeah, because there's a lot going on.
Yeah, too much.
Definitely. So we wanted to bring you guys on, just to talk about your story and your journey in this time. We're in 2020, where a lot has been going on between the pandemic and we've got other stuff going on right now too. But we just wanted to get you guys' take on some things in this season right now. So I'm gonna let my wife ask the first question. She's gonna give y'all the first question.
So, a part of Couples Connect, our purpose is to connect with other couples and to kind of just like build relationships because we all go through unique things as couples, but a lot of it is kind of similar and you learn and grow from each other.
Yeah.
So when we found out that you guys were engaged, we were super excited. And yes, right? So tell us, okay, how did that transition happen that you went from dating and you actually decided that I'm ready to commit?
Yeah.
Shari is the one. What was that decision process like?
Well, okay, so we dated for 2.5, 3 years.
We dated for 3. Excuse me.
And it begins.
It was over 3.5 years. It was
Gotcha.
over.
I don't know about 3.5.
It was like 3 years and 9 months.
No,
4 years, right? 4 years.
3 years. Yes.
almost. No, so
Somewhere between 1 and 4 years, somewhere.
somewhere. I'll say for the decision for me to to propose was really after like the 2-year mark. I was like, yeah, she's definitely the one. We had our ups and downs, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with her. That I was, I was made up. And with that, and just getting the ring and everything, like I had to keep everything hush hush. I didn't want her to have a clue. So even that was a journey. And then the next step was the place where I wanted to propose. That was real big for me, where I wanted to do the proposal in. I wanted to do it on a beach. So
Nice.
we went to the Grand Cayman Islands.
Show us up.
No.
Okay, I got you.
We was in the basement.
We was in the basement.
Okay, here we go.
You were on the beach. We were on the beach. We was in the basement.
But and so I just wanted to have a moment where it was special for both of us, and that was always ideal for me, that I wanted to do it on a beach, and I was able to accomplish that. So I was very blessed to do that.
Yeah, and that sounds like a fairy tale type of proposal, type of thing. What was going through your mind when you made the decision to propose? Like, were you in a place where you knew she was going to say yes, or you weren't really sure?
I knew she was gonna say yes, but that moment when I was proposing, there was a split second where I said to myself, "What if she says no?" Like it just crossed my mind. Like
that would
I
be
was
jacked up, right?
That'd be so messed up, right?
That would be.
I was like, "What if she say no?" But thank God she didn't.
Yeah, because it's happened. I've seen videos where dudes would propose and the girl be like, no, and they just start walking away. He got family. Yeah, he got family and everybody there, and she says no. Like that's gotta be the worst feeling in the world. So gladly that you did not experience.
Yeah, experience.
Thank you for saying yes.
Right. And we're gonna get to what made you decide to say yes, but Shen or Erzcel, did I say it right?
I get Erzcel. I got Urkel too. It's all good.
Erzcel. I'm sorry. Okay, Erzcel. What was it at that 2-year mark that made you feel like she's the one? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
To be honest, she broke up with me.
Oh,
Let me just put it out there.
Listen.
Yeah. I remember. I think it was in the summer. I think it was the summer, and we were having intense fellowship.
Clear throat.
Yeah, we was having some intense fellowship, and she just wasn't having it. And it made me open up my eyes where I was like, okay, she's serious. You know, what areas that I need to get right in and get, you know, serious and on the same page with her. And I was just like, you know, I don't want to lose this girl. I don't. Yeah. And you know, we made up, and that's when it hit me. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with her.
Yeah. You had that wake up call.
That wake up call.
Yeah. Like, oh, she's serious.
Gotta force it sometimes.
Yeah, like, so Shari, tell us what was going on, like, to where you were like, where y'all had to have that breakup to you were, you know, in that place where you were demanding, I guess, something different from him.
Yeah, I felt the relationship was stagnant, right? I know it's never in a rush to make it to the altar, but I always wanted to feel we were progressing there. Yeah. And at that 2-year mark, it felt we weren't progressing. It just felt stagnant. And I could sense from him, like I could sense it, right? Like it felt like he was 50-50 in and out, right? And I didn't want a relationship like that. Yeah. So we had talked about some things had come out, like he said some things, and then I was just like, I'm not doing this. And I don't know if you didn't take me seriously, because you texted me and was like, oh, so you're not talking to me anymore? And I was like, no, like it's over.
I was like, oh.
Listen, brother, I've been there before.
Yep.
I was like, no, like it's done. We're not talking. And I think after that's when so we broke up, and I think for me it was good. It sucked at the time, it was bad at the time, but it was good because I think he needed his space and I needed my space. And when we came back together, it was different. It felt different.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta sometimes, in order to love, you gotta let them go, and
you gotta set your bar.
Back,
yeah.
Almost when you told me this, when you were saying the story, I was thinking of that clip with Martin.
Oh, he was like, Dad, Gina.
He was like, you know what, step. You remember that? You know, she started walking away. You like, Gina.
Exactly how it was too.
Exactly.
Oh man. But that's like, I don't know, that's like the reoccurring story of most dudes. Like, you know, we sometimes test those waters, right. And they call us out on it. They call us out on it. So that, you know, that's very interesting. Very interesting.
So Shari, what were you thinking when he asked you to marry him? What was kind of like the thought process? Were you always going to say yes, or how'd that flow for you?
I knew, so we broke up. So by the time we came back together, I knew EJ and I were heading down the path to marriage. So I knew that. I always had peace about that, so it was fine. So when he actually got down on one knee to propose, I knew I was going to say yes. So and you knew I was going to say yes. So I don't know why.
That split second, you don't know. You don't know.
We talked about it.
You could have been like, I'm not doing this.
That split second.
But he started so we were on the beach, and I guess in front of people, because there's people on the beach, and he starts talking, and I'm just like, where's this going? It better go somewhere, right? Like, this is what's going through my mind. So I heard some of what he said, but I'm really just looking at, okay, what's happening next? What's gonna happen? But then once he got down on one knee and asked me, it was like, yes, like no hesitation. Yeah. For me, because I always felt that this is where I would be.
Yeah, I think I started off like I was like, you know, we've been through a lot, and you know, making it like, you know, real serious and real tense, and And I think that was for me to really set the mood and just to transition into, you know, getting down on one knee in the water. I had shorts on and my knees were wet, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really doing this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm doing this right now. And
Wow.
so yeah, that was that's what happened.
Oh,
That's amazing. That is amazing, guys. I can imagine like just the feeling from that both of you had, like you know, when everything was going on. Like, did it seem like time stopped, or did it seem like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I can say that in my mind, I wanted to do everything at 7 p.m. When the sun set, you know, on the water and everything, and I got all that set, but I was so nervous.
Yeah.
Like, I told her, I was like, oh, I got to run back to the room to go to the bathroom, but I was actually going back to the room to get the ring because I didn't want her to see that I you know, had it. So then ran upstairs, came back down, and I'm like creeping on the beach so she doesn't see me. I'm like literally going like this. And I had to find somebody on the beach to record the moment. And what's
Okay.
funny is there was a couple, like I'm looking around and I'm like, who can I look for? And I heard the audible voice of God say, that couple right there. There were two people. And I go over there, and this, I kid you not. I said, hey, do you mind, you know, recording? I said, I'm about to propose to my girlfriend. They said, oh, really? The lady said, he just proposed to me yesterday. And I'm like, get out of here.
What?
Yeah, I was like, what?
What?
They like, yeah, that camera.
Right. Right. What are
And
the
pretty
odds?
much, yeah, the rest is history. They recorded it, and but it was nervous. It was just like, oh man, I'm really doing this. And like you said, Letitia, like time stopped. I felt like time stopped. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were nervous when you proposed.
Was I nervous?
Oh my gosh, he was nervous.
No, I was nervous.
Yes.
Well, you know what?
No, go ahead.
Well, you know, it was in the basement. It was in the basement,
Okay.
or whatever.
It was
But
a Christmas party.
it was a Christmas party. Her families get together to do every year. So I'm outnumbered. Like, I'm the only one from my lineage there representing for, you know, Team Gray. And I had to make sure there was, you know, there was right, and I said the right things because her aunts and her uncles are staring me down. You know what I'm saying? Her mom is in the back, like looking like, you know, Al Pacino or something.
He was singing. Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys and Usher. I did it. If I ain't got you, I think.
Yeah.
You sang it?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
singing.
Word?
We were playing a game.
I tried to play it off like we were doing like karaoke. So
Okay.
I had went first, and I started doing a song, and everybody's listening. And then that's when I turned around, and I was like, I'm gonna flip this thing on you. So I
My
flipped
man.
on it.
I was like, what are you doing?
And my friend at the time, she had the ring in her hand. So I knelt down, and like I just like, it was like real smooth. I like put my hand back,
What is he doing?
and then I came back, and then it was like the ring was there, and then I proposed.
Yeah.
I proposed,
Nice.
and it was cool though. It was cool because she has 3 girls of her own that, you know, we have a blended family or whatever. But her daughter, she was younger at the age. She was standing right next to her, and when I opened the thing, you could just see her eyes looking at the ring. She like, it was like such a, you know, a shine in her eyes as she was looking at the ring or whatever. But no, it was cool. It was cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
And she said yes. Thank you.
Yeah. I said yes. I said yes. I did it. So
Wait, hold on. Letitia, were you nervous?
I was in shock.
Okay.
And I was not prepared. Like, this is not what we talked about.
Mm.
We talked about it just being me and him if it happens, and like all my family was there, and
Everybody was there.
Yeah, I was just completely shocked, but everybody was happy, so that worked out well. But yeah, I was shocked. I was really shocked.
It was successful.
It was good.
It was successful, yeah.
I was very confused. Because he was like, you know, if I ain't got you, and we're playing a game, so I'm trying to beat him. Like, I have a team, and I'm like, that's not fair because you sing all the time. Like, you know, my mind was someplace else. But, yeah. Did I answer your question?
What was the question? I don't know.
I was saying if she was nervous, if you were nervous when you proposed.
I would say shocked.
I would say nervous then.
I was nervous?
All of the above.
Oh God. I was nervous after. So Shari, when you went home, I know for me, I just laid in my bed and I just looked at my ring. I was like, I can't believe.
Yeah.
Was that what it was for you?
Yes, it was for me. And it was the same thing. So we called our parents because we were, where were we? Cayman. We were in Cayman Islands. So we called our parents. So I was still shocked when all that was happening, but of course they knew apparently.
Oh yeah, I kept everything. She had no clue at all. Parents did, but not her.
My best friend knew for months, and she didn't even give me a hint, nothing. So when it did happen, I was really shocked. I kept looking at my ring. I remember when I first tried it, it was like not weird but it was different, right? To have something there.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my goodness. I kept looking at it. I took pictures of it. I showed my friends. Like I was surprised.
Do you sometimes go out and you're like, excuse me, do you know what time it is?
She does. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
You'll be like, yeah, you do. No, you know what she does for us? She'll go like this just so she could look at it, and then she'll go so everybody.
Oh, that's not
For everybody else.
That's in the privacy of my own home.
The streets know.
I'm not doing that in public.
You would have thought she was a hand model or something as much as
We start talking with our hands much more. We're just like,
so I'm using my left hand much more. Yeah.
What is that?
She's a righty. Well, she's right-handed, but then all of a sudden
now she want to use her left hand now.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys. I'm sure people watching, and especially like single people too, probably want to know, for both of you, what was it about the other person, or maybe like a characteristic, or what was it about them that I guess connected you, like wanted you to be with that person?
I like that she's very purpose driven. Just, in and out of her career. She loves God first, obviously, above all. I like her sense of humor. And I feel like there's times when like I'm definitely outgoing, and just like with jokes and everything. But then like her jokes, she be cutting up with her jokes. You're funny.
You sound so surprised.
I like there's times when she's just like, very quiet and, just very observant. Yeah, so those are like some of the qualities that I really like. And she's funny. Like I'm glad that I'm with her because she's like hilarious.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
It's good to laugh. Laughing goes a long way in relationships. So you guys got that part.
Yeah.
So what about for you, Shari? What would you say drew you to him?
Initially, I always thought and got the impression he was honest and trustworthy. It was like that character, right? With EJ, from the beginning, he was super honest with me. I mean, we had our little things, but that was something unrelated. But I just always felt he was trustworthy. It was never a matter of like, I can't trust him. I can't trust what he's telling me. I can't trust him with what he's doing. Like, it was never anything like that. So it was the character that I saw just by talking to him and interacting with him that I was like, okay, this is nice. He's a nice guy, right? Initially. I think he balances me out very, very well though, right? Because I can be serious. I'm funny. I know I'm funny, but I can be serious, but he balances me out to give me a perspective on life that's different than what I would normally do.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things about him, but those are the two I would say.
Interesting. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, I could say, because you served in the military, right, Erzcel?
Yeah.
So definitely, I know being his friend, I know that he's very a trustworthy person. If you say, be there at 6, he gonna be there at 5:30.
5:55, right? Look
at what I'm saying,
yeah.
like. So I definitely agree with you on that, and I think what you said about the whole balancing each other out is such like a key aspect to a couple's longevity, because when you have like two people that are exactly the same,
right,
nothing to like add that, you know what I mean, that flavor or that spice to the relationship. So
we were talking to somebody the other day, and she asked us what it was about us, each other, that attracted us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I said all this other stuff, right? But then I was thinking, this morning, I'm like, you know what? It's like he helped me have fun.
Mm.
I was like very, very like serious, had a lot of 3 kids, right? A lot of responsibilities and just
Mhm.
working and doing stuff all the time. But he
She
was
was
so
she was very much like, she had her planner, she had the calendar,
That's
and
me. Yeah.
everything. And I'm like, calendar? Nobody needs a calendar. My man, planner, let's just do it now. Like, why are we
Yeah.
waiting? And she loved that about me. And I love the fact that she could be my calendar. Like,
Mhm.
"Oh, babe, when we gotta do that again? Or when is this date again?" And
Yep.
like,
Yep.
we would balance each other out. So
Yeah.
that's what I said. I think it's just so key because you bring out aspects of yourself that you didn't even know you had in you. So I
or
just,
that you needed.
yeah, yep,
That's good.
yep,
That's good.
yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So how has this engagement period been? So now you're engaged. How
Woo-hoo.
has that been different from like dating or
Uh,
serious dating?
it's it's been different. It's definitely been different. Now like when I look at her, I'm like, wow, yeah, she's my fiance and my future wife. And I think there was one time I slipped up and I like called her my girlfriend, and she was like, "Who's your girlfriend?"
Like, who are you talking about?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, I'm using the words interchangeably." She was like, "I'm your
No,
fiance," and I'm like, "I know that, but it's just so ingrained because the dating period." But I'm really blessed and honored to call her my fiance and my wife. But yeah, it's been different, especially with the pandemic now. It's been challenging
yeah,
during the engagement period. It's been challenging, with businesses being closed and trying to look for a wedding dress. And thank God that before everything broke, I believe January, February, we were looking for venues. So we were able to, get a venue. And we already had a date set for December. That was our original date. So we didn't have to change anything. And prayerfully, we won't have to change anything moving forward. But yeah, just getting to the point where, just finding out where things are gonna be opening back up. So now it's gonna be like, now we gotta really hit the pavement running, because we only got like 6 months left, pretty much.
yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah.
I didn't even think about that because
Well,
as soon
let me
as
just
okay, go
give her
ahead.
kudos on correcting the girlfriend fiance thing. She was like, "You gonna put some respect on my name." But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Tell me.
Because that ain't me. That ain't me.
I like her.
I'm saying it like I know how you said it. I don't.
You was on point with the head nod.
What's the
like,
funny thing y'all do? What's the
Yeah, was it?
y'all do the snatch and grab? The snatch and grab. Is it the snatch? That ain't me. No.
What is that? What is that? Tell me.
No, when did that start? Sherry, when did that start?
It works.
When did that start for women? Was that
What?
the snatch and grab?
I don't know.
I think that's supposed to be used to grab our attention.
Oh,
That's what I think. Listen, and you're like, oh.
And now that I got your attention, I'm gonna reel you
Follow
in
my
now.
finger.
Got you. It makes sense.
He's over there doing it.
I got it now. All right.
I'm glad y'all understand. I'm glad.
Proceed.
So, thinking back to when I got engaged, I hadn't even thought about how this pandemic has changed all of that because I was out looking for dresses and picking my bridesmaid dresses and just in my bliss, right?
Mhm.
With everything going on. So how have you been doing that? Like, I know that's like a different space now. Have they been opening up areas like virtually to do that kind of stuff?
Not really. So everything is closed, really.
Mm.
Even our venue officially is closed right now, right? Because they're not allowed to host people of a certain size. So they're officially closed. We're hoping that they'll open up and the governor will allow them to open up soon now that they're phasing in some things.
Yeah.
But everything's closed. Like, so we're at a standstill with planning. I can look online, but when it comes to something like wedding dress shopping, like I have to I have to go in and try on a dress, right?
Yeah.
So it's been hard. It's been hard because I always thought my engagement period or our engagement period would be, you know, blissful and exciting and a celebration and seeing friends and family and, you know, going to brunch where I can show off my ring, you know, just things like that, right? And I haven't been able to do any of it, right? I'm in my apartment by myself. So that's where it's hard because not that it's not exciting because it is, but how I envisioned it would be is different than what actually it is right now. Thankfully we were able to get a venue, so we were on top of that. And I remember January, February, it's interesting. January, February, we were like getting venues, doing this, taking photos, like we were, and I'm typically really busy at work during that time. So I was doing all of that plus working my 80 hours, right? It was just busy. So I said to myself, and I told EJ, March, I'm going to take a break. And I was like, I'm going to start back up in April. And God sat us down to June. Like, we are here.
Like, yes, you are. You
are. Like, now we're in June and we're still breaking, right? So it's been hard. I'm hoping, especially with wedding dresses, I'm hoping things will open up soon. So that way December looks reasonable. But I don't know.
I mean, well, it definitely is a story that you guys are going to have for your kids.
Right.
You know, if you plan, you know, plan
She's
to
like, well.
Because it's like you're only engaged once, right?
Yeah.
I'm only gonna be engaged once. So I really wanted to enjoy the moment, and now it's like looking back, I'm gonna be like, oh, it's pandemic. So.
Yeah. I think it's like you had January, February, and a little bit of March, and bam, it's like everything stops. And you know, I've heard stories of where, you know, people had to reschedule their wedding. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, well, I'm still hopeful even now. I'm like, well, ours is at pretty much at the end of the year. I'm like, we'll be good. We'll be good. But then she made a good point. She was like, well, we still have to plan, like, and that still takes time. And I'm like, oh yeah, your wedding dress, you know, because of the places still aren't opening. But you know, from what I heard, you know, things are going to be opening up starting the 15th and moving forward. So once that happens, it's like just got to grind it out, you know.
And you guys could do it. Y'all are very, like, you know, responsible people. Seems like.
Well, I must say, she chose a very good wedding planner. She's been very, very helpful. Yes, like if we try to do this on our own, forget about it.
It's a lot. Like, you don't even think about how much detail goes into the whole planning process.
Yeah.
Because I think we try to do it on our own, right?
We did. We had two weddings.
Yeah, we had two weddings. One was so we can get married as soon as possible, and then we had the big wedding after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we realized very quickly about all the things that come with getting married and planning for a wedding, like the little details that you would never think of. So having a planner is definitely helpful.
And our wedding, it cost less than $5,000.
Really?
Yeah. But we weren't like, you know, we had it on a Thursday.
I
was on a Thursday too. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Someone was like, "You having it on a Thursday?" I'm like, "Yes, it's on a Thursday."
Yes. I don't know enough time. You have enough time to get there.
If they care, they will be there. So.
And they came, and people did come.
Yeah.
We had I got my dress from it was a couture, Lazaro couture dress. Got it from a secondhand store. And what else did we? Oh, and we had our wedding at a historical venue in Inglewood.
Yeah.
And we had an actual wedding outside.
It was outside.
And we had the
reception was inside. They used like an old firehouse and they restructured the inside and made it available for like events and parties and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool. What month did you get married in?
The second one was July.
Yeah.
Okay.
The big one.
How many people though? How many people?
100.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
And then we had the caterers, like a local caterer from
That was probably the most expensive
London.
thing that we had was the food.
It was.
Yeah.
Mm,
It was.
okay.
And we had his friend DJ.
Nice.
That's right.
He did
It's about-
good.
Why'd you make that face? Okay.
We cut some corners.
Yeah.
I got you.
At the end of the day, it is what you make it.
We
And
still have fun.
yeah, and it's what you want to, most people not most people, but a lot of people, when they plan for a wedding, they're thinking about everybody else and they forget about what you guys want. And I think that's the main thing. Do what you want to do what makes you happy, do what you're looking to do, and the people will come and they'll support you. If they don't, they didn't support you anyway. So
and our best money was spent on the honeymoon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Like, if we could do it, I mean, our wedding wasn't expensive, but like, I know a lot of people who spend a lot of money on weddings.
Yeah.
And I always
And
say, like, if they ask me, I say, spend your money on your honeymoon. Because the wedding goes by so fast. And you want it to be a really good moment and everything, but it really is like,
it's
4
like that.
4 or 5 hours. It goes by really fast.
Yeah.
And honeymoon, that's where you want to spend your
Right.
Gotcha.
coins.
Do y'all have an idea of where you would want to go, or?
Yeah, I want a honeymoon.
I got you. I want a honeymoon. I'm like, oh, just put me right on the spot. I got you.
My bad. I didn't mean to.
We talked about Greece.
Nice. Nice.
That's like one. What else did we talk about? Italy even came across my mind for a bit. But I know, like, people have told me about Greece, and I'm like, yeah, Greece is like, it's really nice.
Yeah.
I told you about Seychelles too.
You did tell me about that.
Seychelles.
So you ever heard of that, Seychelles?
I have not. I think we're saying seashells. I didn't know. Like, is
He's
that a high level? Oh, that's nice. Have a good
He's
time.
like, yeah, it's nice. I heard.
So what is that? What is?
I don't know, but I saw some.
If y'all end up in a back alley somewhere,
Well, I hope we're
honeymoon.
right?
It's an island, like off of Africa. Was it the coast of Africa?
Wow. Okay.
It was an island off the coast of Africa. But I saw pictures of it and it looked beautiful, and I showed it to you. Yeah. But
y'all gotta send that to us, because was it seashells?
Seychelles.
The tongue wants to say seashells.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But definitely send that to us. I would like to see that. But we want to go somewhere again.
We need to go somewhere after this whole thing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Something, the Hilton, somewhere. I'm just joking.
So I guess I guess I kind of want to open it up to, like, if you guys have any questions for us, maybe, or if you want to talk about maybe what you have learned about yourself so far. There's a lot of, like, self-development that happens in relationships, but I'll let you guys decide.
Well, I have a question for both of you. How has it been, just, being parents and parenting, like, just overall? I just lit up.
Especially now.
True.
Yeah.
When everybody's in your house.
Everyone's in your house and everything going on in the States.
Yeah. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. Well, our kids are older, so we have a 9-year-old, and then everybody else is technically an adult, 18 and up, and there's 7 of us. So, plus we got a grandbaby. So, yeah, it's just, I say, in the state of the quarantine, it has been very interesting, because now you have these adult people all in one crammed up space. But as far as, like, parenting as a whole, that's one of the things that we didn't really have that, like, one-on-one married time, because we always had kids in the mix.
It was always running.
Got you.
Yeah, so parenting has always, I guess, kind of been at the forefront, and I will say it can be very challenging.
Yeah, and especially because we don't have I guess what you would see as a typical family dynamic because we are a blended family.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to take that into consideration too, that they have other parents that are biologically theirs.
Right.
You know, and that's, you know, that's something where we had to constantly communicate with each other on how we'll discipline the children and how do we do birthdays, because you want to make sure that all of your kids are treated, you know, they feel like they're on the same level with the other siblings.
Right.
That's very important.
I think also, as when you're parenting, I think you have to make sure that you're guarding your relationship.
I was just about to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we have locks on the door,
Yep.
like the code, but you don't come.
Yeah.
Like, have codes on
Yep.
there. We go away a lot and leave them.
So you got to realize that there is a certain period of time where you have to nurture and you have to take care of your child because they can't take care of themselves.
Right.
But as you begin to teach them responsibility and they begin to do things for themselves, then you have to start pulling away from that so they can become responsible, and then giving that time to your spouse. Because when they leave out, who's going to be left in the house with you and your spouse?
Right.
And if you guys are in a bad place, then after they leave, that's not going to be good for the longevity of your relationship.
Mm.
You know, that's why you have some parents are so clingy to their kids and they don't, you know what I mean? They don't give it the same time and energy to their spouse, and it's just, it gets really tricky with that. So
Yeah, but we don't want to make it sound all bad.
no, it's not. You just have to be intentional about investing in your marriage, even if you have kids. Somebody explained it to us that there's a circle, and in that circle is you and your spouse and God, and everybody else is outside of that script,
Right.
including your kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Interesting.
Protecting the circle.
yeah,
Right.
you guys have to be healthy in order for others to be healthy.
Because I'll say the kids can really, I mean, you love them.
Oh, they'll play on you.
Yeah, but
They'll
also,
play on you.
I'm thinking like babies, because we
Yeah.
have them, you know, the babies are beautiful, and
Yes.
you know, you love them so much, but they also they take from you.
Yeah.
So if they're taking from you, sometimes you're so depleted that you're not giving to the other person, but it's really important that you're guarding that space.
Yeah.
And you just go through seasons.
Yep.
You know, you go through seasons.
Yeah, like I said, there's a season where you will have to dedicate your time and energy to that child because they're not able to take care of themselves.
Right.
Yeah. Just make sure you give your boo some love.
Got you.
We done went into 20-year-old.
Right. I could have brought you through the whole process. Yeah, your kids already out the house. You're like,
Wow.
yeah.
They're blessings.
That's good.
Figure it out. You guys figure it out.
Yep.
You find your mix. Like, you know.
The first one, y'all gonna be like probably spoiled the
Yes.
heck out of her anyway. So,
Mm-hmm.
but then by kid 2, you're gonna be like,
Right.
no.
You'll be all right. Come on.
You had a question for him?
What advice would you give just starting out in marriage? Because one of your questions was, how has seriously dating changed and engaged? How has that changed now that we're engaged? And I would say we have to have a lot more serious conversations, if that makes sense, now that we're entering into marriage.
Yeah.
So sometimes the conversations are fine, sometimes they're serious. So how do you know, as we transition to marriage, what else should we be thinking about in terms of how we like blend our lives together?
I think that definitely you want, I don't know if you guys are doing premarital counseling, but doing premarital
We just finished it.
Yeah, but continue
Post-marital.
counseling. Yes.
Post-marital counseling.
Because I think working on communication is so important.
Yeah.
And being intentional on nurturing your relationship and your ability to really communicate honestly with each other.
Yeah.
And not hold on to stuff. You know what I mean? And so, but that comes with continuous, I think, talking and communicating. And then when you find those areas where you might feel like it's getting stagnant, like Shari has said, then you definitely want to bring somebody in to help you guys refocus and be surrounded by other couples.
Healthy couples.
Yeah, be surrounded by others that you trust, you know, and that you can confide in if something happens, or you just might be having a tough day or a tough week, or you can't figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
But definitely surround yourself by other healthy couples, and I recommend therapy all day long.
Yeah. And we even to this day we still see a counselor, every so now and then, just so we can kind of reconnect. But yeah, communication is key. And I think, Shari, you said something earlier where you wanted to know, like, where is this going? And that was kind of like the thing that made you say, this is the person I want to be with. But I think that conversation needs to continuously happen throughout the marriage. You never want to get in a place where you're like, well, where's our marriage going? What are we doing? You always want to reconnect and be on the same page with each other. And I would say also to find a hobby or find something that you guys can do together that brings you together. You know what I mean? For instance, like we do like some business stuff together. We do this couples connect together. Like we do other things that bring us in a different dynamic. Helps to build and cultivate our marriage.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Like we do this not so much for everyone else, but for us too. To help us, sometimes we be talking like, oh, I forgot you did that.
Yeah. Yeah. You forget. You go through much stuff, and I think we don't give ourselves credit how strong we are as people. And once you get married, you'll see how strong you are as a couple, how you can go through things and still rise on top. You forget how strong you are. You forget how strong your marriage is. And we get upset at like the littlest arguments or the disagreements. And you forget, like, wait a minute, we're stronger than that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's just important to remember that.
Thank God.
That's good.
Prayer, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, praying together, devotionals together, praying for each other, continuously pursuing each other, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Good. That's good. I'm trying to think. I know I had another question. I know I did. Yeah, I can't remember. I have to text it to you. I know I had one. I know, because I had the parent one, and there was one more. I forgot. I'll when I come up with it, I'll text you.
Text me. Yeah, text us.
And I think, well, while he's thinking too, now it's like all coming to me. I think just the more conversation, the more serious conversations, to be clear about like how you want to move as far as finances, how you want to move as far as goals, when you want to have kids. Like I think the more you're on one accord and on the same page, the easier it is.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, it helps. It helps when people normally have like clashes is when they're caught off guard in most cases. You know what I mean? But when you communicate, you guys know what's going on. You won't get caught off guard, and it's less likely for you to, become upset or become, disappointed or anything like that. So.
Right.
Oh, I know too. Excuse me, I know. No, I think sometimes people don't realize that marriage is going to grow you. Right? Like the other person is there to grow you.
Right.
And you're growing the other person.
Right.
And I think people get upset. So like as a wife, I'll see something and challenge him in a way that nobody else can challenge him because and then he can challenge me, because I used to not like really be friendly.
She's such an introvert.
But he had to, kind of help me, learn how to be more sociable and learn how to, certain things. So I think people don't realize that you're learning something from them.
And they become upset because when you grow, you got to think about it. When you're used to being in a box,
right,
you begin to grow in that box, it becomes uncomfortable because you're trying to stay in that box. So if you realize that you are growing and you realize that what you have to learn and what level you're going through does not fit in that box, then the easier it is for you to now step into the new you, to the better you.
Not take it personal.
Right.
That's good.
Or take offense to it or something like that.
There's an awful lot of stretching and bending.
She could have been like, what do you mean I don't like people? I like people. I'm doing fine just the way I am.
What I told them.
Right. But honestly, there are conversations like that where the other person sees something in another person and they take it as an offense rather than somebody speaking life in you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's not
That's good.
yeah. I think if you know that going in, then you won't want to flight or fly away when
Yeah.
it gets tough because
Right.
it
Fight
it
or flight.
yeah, that's it.
Like,
it,
yeah.
it will be challenging. Like it's
Yeah.
not going. And then I think love is an action and it's not a
Yeah.
feeling, and it's a commitment
Mm-hmm.
to that action.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just-
I know you got me on a
that was
roll. I'm
good.
like, what else?
You better go. You better.
Right.
And then knowing something and doing something is two different things.
Right.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
two different things.
Are we giving a counseling session?
I
now,
told
or
y'all
what?
this is for us.
But you like this our therapeutic session?
No, but so I guess before. Oh, did we lose the gift freeze?
They're there.
Oh, okay.
We're back.
I guess before we let you guys go, a question I had is, what would you say has been your biggest learning experience so far? Like, in what areas have you had to grow that you didn't think you were going to have to grow?
Yeah.
But you realize that you have had to.
I'll take it. I'll say definitely my patience. And then just planning and where we're going. Being the head, being the man, being considerate of her desires as well, and really just trying to plan everything. Because I'm pretty much just living on my own and just doing things as I go. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute, I got to slow down because I have someone, I need to consider as well.
Mm-hmm.
And she definitely let me know numerous times, like, hey, what are you doing? Don't forget me. And I'm like,
the snatch and grab.
yeah. So it definitely slows me down.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, okay. And like, it hit me the other day. I'm like, wow, I'm getting married. I'm like, I'm not in high school anymore, whatever, not in my 20s, like, this is going to be life.
Yeah.
So, just an eye opener for me. Just planning and where we need to go. And she's a planner. And so it definitely holds me accountable. Like, okay, I have, I have to have a vision. She has a vision. Now, where can both our visions collaborate together and moving this thing forward? Yeah.
That's good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I think two things for me. I think you tell me.
Oh, there was two.
I think so. So one, in how I communicate with him. So I'm very introverted. I have nothing to say. Right? So I'm very introverted and I don't communicate well, or I haven't in the past. So how I communicate with him, I think, is something I'm growing into, because I think with me not communicating well, it will cause conflict with each other. And then the second thing is being flexible, because I can be very rigid. Like, that's how we balance each other out. Like, I'm very rigid and he's not, right? And so I'm learning how to be flexible to him and to what he's looking for and wants to do and how he wants this relationship to move, or how he thinks something should be done, something like that, as opposed to me just saying, actually, I like it better this way and it's probably the right way. And, I just need you to jump on board. Like, I don't know. But trying to be flexible to hear him out, because he does have another side, which is always good too.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
That's good.
Well, don't.
That is.
Oh, excuse me.
I think I just want to encourage you, Shari, because you have similar. It seems like you have similar characteristics that I had, as far as like being
Like,
rigid.
it's chopping up. Oh no.
Hear me now? Can you hear me? I was saying that it seemed like we have some similar characteristics, and I just wanted to encourage you that he had to do some of the same thing with me. Like, I had to loosen up a little bit and get more flexible and learn how to communicate better. And what I'm finding, like 12 years down the line now, is that him helping me grow in that area has set me up to be able to show up in other areas outside of our marriage. You know, like in my business and in talking with different women. Those are skill sets that I needed to be able to show up in that space. And so I just want to encourage you, because sometimes we get like we don't know why certain, like why we have the certain mate that we have, or why we have to work on certain areas, but it's like God always has a bigger plan in it. Like he's working in us individually, he's working in us together, and then he's also working in what he's called us to do. And so I just want to encourage you with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
I'm about to say, oh.
I'm gonna put the instrumental music on this part right here, you know, when she's talking.
Right. Nobody would like me, because I was just like, why? I don't understand. But I had to. I did.
What do you mean nobody would
I
like
mean,
you?
people, you know.
And you know what's funny? I just found out what my question was for you guys. And Letitia, you just answered it. I was gonna say, how long were you guys married for? Well, have been married for. And I think you said 12, right? Is it 12 years?
12 years.
Yeah. That was my question. So you already answered. So thank you.
Yeah. 12 years. It seems like yesterday. Right?
Yeah. I was gonna say 12 years, but then we said that's not funny.
12 years.
I was gonna play off of the movie.
She was gonna play off of the movie. 12 years.
Oh.
That's it.
I was like, no,
right? 12 years of growth and learning. It's been,
Got you. That's funny.
No, I'm a different person now than I would definitely say different. Both of us, right?
I think so. Definitely me. I've learned a lot as far as the planning and just being a little bit more structured, time management. Has helped me, like even like in my professional field, like when, you know, the jobs that I've had have been like managerial jobs and project management and all those things, and I would not have been able to survive in those jobs if I didn't learn like how to use a calendar or how to use.
Just tell me what's on the calendar.
People like, did you get that that email I sent you? I'm like, you know, I don't check emails. Why don't you just text me? But I needed that balance of, you know, just that time management, that like project management type stuff to help me, you know, become strong in another aspect of my life. Because creativity, you know, Erzcel, you know, creativity, like that's my wheelhouse, that's my thing.
Right.
And writing and stuff like that. But the other aspect was a little lacking, and I needed somebody who was strong in that area who kind of helped me become strong in that area. So yeah, definitely like we said before, it's a balance. So I got a serious side, you know. I got a serious side and I got a joking side. So.
Yeah.
What advice would you give Shin?
For marriage, pray. Pray. You definitely want to pray.
Right.
Every night. And no, I'm just kidding. No, but I would say don't take things personally. You know, we hold on to stuff that we don't have no business of holding on to, and it messes up stuff, messes up your life, messes up future, and years down the line, it doesn't even mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
So don't take things personally. Realize that you have a greater responsibility over your wife and your family. That's more important than your emotions. You know what I mean?
That's good.
So that's what I would say. If you learn how to not take things personally, you know that you'll realize that you have a greater calling than just what your feelings are telling you.
Right. That's good. I received that. That's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
But marriage is a beautiful thing, and like you said, 12 years, and we have inside jokes. You know what I mean? Just like little things that you experience together that nobody else, you know, can attest to, but the two of you. It's such a great thing.
And then when you come together, there is something in the power couple, right? There's something, and so sometimes there is work that has to be done so you can get to that space, so that you're moving together in your marriage and like outside with other things. So, you know, it's God ordained union.
Yeah. You gotta keep God first, and the rest will you know come into place. So, but you guys, I mean, y'all will be good. I'm excited for y'all and
Yes.
what God has for you.
Thank you.
December 2020.
Yeah. Y'all have a hashtag yet, or what?
Yeah, hashtag Boyd meets girl. It should be on the save the
Oh,
date.
that's right. Yeah. You're
Yeah,
right.
I try to play on my last name
Yep.
with Boyd. Yeah.
With the boy. I actually used to watch Boy Meets World, and that was like how
Yeah, you
like
like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I learned all of like my vital like pieces of information about
Mhm.
relationships, and Topanga was my boo in my head, you know.
Topanga was everybody's boo.
Yeah.
Topanga was my boo. But yeah, definitely Boy Meets Girl. I think that's dope.
Yeah.
You guys excited?
We're excited. We're excited. It's just leading up to it, you know. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, as we get closer and closer, we're just definitely just excited, you know, for the marriage, and then everybody celebrating with us. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's that's
Yeah.
what's up.
Well, we hope and we pray that you guys have a smooth transition
Mhm.
after the 15th to get everything done.
Yeah.
And we know that you're going to be successful. You just keep putting God first.
Yeah.
You know, really at the end of
Put
the
God
day.
first and put each other first.
Yeah.
Yep. And you
Stay
guys
in
will
the
be fine.
circle.
Stay in the circle.
Yeah.
You got in the circle. Everybody else is on the outside.
Right.
Definitely.
Protect the circle.
At all costs. You gotta protect us. She makes it sound like she's a drill sergeant.
It makes me think of Meet the Parents with Robert De Niro, where he was
Oh.
like circle of trust.
Yes.
Yes.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Him.
You ever see that?
I saw Meet the Parents.
I gotta watch that. It's
Yeah.
funny.
That was hilarious.
Yep.
Guys, thank you for coming on and sharing your story and
Yeah.
talking to us and engaging. Like we said earlier, it's not just for other people, it's for us too. So we appreciate the
Yeah.
conversation. Um,
And I think it was great because to have you guys on, because you're speaking from a place of being engaged rather than trying to reminisce on you know, your memories and things like that. So you guys are right in it. And thank you guys for being timely and being great guests. I think they were awesome.
yeah.
And we wish the best for you guys, and we pray that you know you guys have a great, successful journey together.
Thank you, and I want to say thank you as well. Thank you, you know, for having us be guests on your show. But I like what you guys are doing, that you've been doing, and I think it's definitely needed. I know it was therapeutic for me. I know you said it was therapeutic for yourselves, but you know, I've caught previous broadcasts that you guys have done, and I just like what you guys are doing, and it's much needed for today. It really is. So thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.